Good morning, everyone. I just thought I would check in with you and see how you are feeling on this last day of 2018. And we all look forward to that renewed time of year when we leave the past behind and we move forward into the future. And it's always a time that we feel like we can refresh things, we can start over, we can move forward. And I just want to encourage you to take a moment today to take a look at all of your wins for 2018. So it's really easy for a lot of us to always be focused on what we didn't accomplish or what we meant to do and didn't get done, or whether that has to do with things about ourselves, our weight, our emotions, our workout. Did we achieve all of the things that we told ourselves we were going to achieve last January? So instead of looking at things in a way of being disappointed in yourself, or you didn't do everything that you thought you were going to do or you told yourself you were going to do, how about looking at all of the things that you did accomplish and making a list? So when we write things down, as I always say, when we write things down, then they become super real. So taking a moment today to just reflect on the positive of 2018. And if that's in relationship to your weight loss goals, take a moment to say, what did you get done? And maybe it was only something little. Maybe it was all the way to goal. Maybe you're in maintenance now and you're struggling with your new lifestyle or with how you perceive yourself or how others perceive yourself. Let's not worry about those struggles. Let's focus on how we're going to move in to the new year, into 2019. So I know that I thought I would just kind of go down a list of things that might be useful and helpful to everybody. So I want to read a couple of quotes here that I like. One is, "The first few days of each new year have always seemed to be filled with a special magical quality of anticipation, what with the new calendar produces in our lives." So, anticipating positive energy, new things that we are going to get to accomplish. And I'm not a big person on setting New Year's resolutions, because I feel like when we set New Year's resolutions, we go super big, and then if we don't accomplish those things, then we're disappointed in ourselves. So what I like to think of is just continuing the goals that I set last year. And if you're interested in doing some goal setting, I do have a goal setting group that you can join, and we will be starting next week and just doing some exercises and there's some workbooks to download. So I'll put a link in the comments section if you guys want to jump over there and join me for some goal setting for 2019. Another thing that I really like is no one can go back and start a new beginning, but anyone can start today and make a new ending. So thinking about not worrying about what happened in last year, 5 years ago, who you were 10 years ago, not comparing yourself to the past, but just making a new future and incorporating new ideas, new lifestyle habits, new thought processes, because as we know, whatever we think, we become. Whatever we surround ourselves with, we assimilate and become also. So Maybe taking some time today to clean out your life. And maybe that's in the physical sense, cleaning out things, purging our closets and our cupboards and our pantries and our refrigerator, getting rid of all those old, the things we've been chomping on since Thanksgiving or Christmas Day, cookies and candies that people brought over, and purging that. So purging in the physical sense, or making a mental, or not a mental list, actually a written list of our mental things that we need to purge. So maybe that's purging guilty thoughts, or purging negative self-talk, purging some people that maybe aren't so great for us, and not necessarily do we have to get rid of those people, but maybe what we want to do is put them on the back burner and revisit them in 3 months. So, if they call, just be busy and say, oh my gosh, I'm so busy right now, so many good things happening in my life, and I want to share them with you. Let's get together next month when I have a little more time. And kind of, just slowly backing out of some of that negativity. And a lot of times that negativity happens in our families and people that surround us that don't support us. And we can't get to our goals without that, having those people around you that support you, that lift you up, that make you better, that help you create newness in yourself. And so as we start the new year, how about thinking about purging some of that old stuff? So another phrase I like is, let's see here. In the new year, never forget to thank your past years because they enabled you to reach today, which is so true. So without the stairs of the past, you can't arrive at the future. And I love that saying, because yes, everything that we have done so far in our lives is going to take us to the next place. It's taught us lessons, and sometimes those are painful lessons. Sometimes they're lessons we need to learn always. And sometimes we keep revisiting the same lesson over and over. And I always say the universe presents us with the same lesson every time until we get it. So until we learn that lesson, the universe keeps pushing it back at us in a different way until we finally get it and do something about it and move on. So thinking about, and here's another thing to write down. Write down the lessons that you've learned in the past year, past 5 years, past 10 years. And if some of those things were really difficult lessons, figure out what the positive outcome was from them. So even sometimes when, I can remember back in 2008, I lost a lot of everything. I lost money. I lost a spouse in the way through divorce. I had to liquidate some of my businesses. It was so painful, not only emotionally, but some of my businesses I'd had for 30 years, and they were like my children, and I had to let go of employees, and I had to go through a very, very painful process. And then, that took me maybe like 4 years to go through that whole process. And it was a very difficult 4 years. But now I realize that all of that was meant to be. So all of those lessons that I learned a lot of grace through fire. All of those things led me to the next thing. So the next thing I did was I opened an Ideal Protein business up in Northern California. I did not have one client. I just had done the program, and I was so impressed with it that I wanted to share it with my community, and I thought it would be, a great new restart to the next phase of my life. And it was, and it has been, and it's been a wonderful experience. And not only did I really incorporate lifestyle changes that made me understand what was happening with my own system and my own autoimmune issues and my own exhaustion and chronic sugar eating and just a lot of things that I was doing that were not helping me and were actually making me sick. So I created health for myself, but then I got to experience this new business where I got to help others, and I get to help people every day. I love my clients. I love my online community, and I love sharing and helping people change their lives. So in the process of a very painful time in my life, I created this new thing that I do that I love, that I never did I think I would be a life coach. I was always in the health business since really probably about 20 years. I've been in some type of health business, and I've been in the Ideal Protein business now for almost 7 years. But I never ever thought that I was the kind of person that would coach other people. I always had an innate sense of self and always learning. And now I get to share all the knowledge that I've learned, and how I've changed my own life has helped me to help other people change their lives. So I feel blessed in that. So that's something that you can do is take a look even at the really tough times that you've been through and see how you can put a positive spin on it and learn from it. So let's see here. Here's a quote here. If you wrote a book for each day of the year that has passed and then reread it on New Year's Eve, what things would you change? What things would you cherish? Take the things that are cherished and vow to focus more on that in the upcoming new year. So that's a great quote, is letting go of the things that are not servicing us and embracing and expanding on the things that really are working for us and that we can cherish in our lives and make bigger and better, and that we can share with others also. And through this whole process, we want to be able to share our experiences and help create better lives for those around us, whether they're our children, teaching them to eat better and to exercise and to incorporate healthy habits, and what fast food is doing for them and not doing for them, obviously. But just teaching them in little ways how to be better and how to, and we live by example. So the example that we are creating in our own world is what others are going to assimilate and use. And so having the ability to share, even if it's just little changes, like we changed from white rice to cauliflower rice, or we're now eating 10 different kinds of vegetables each week, and we're making sure we get 4 servings a day, whatever it is, teaching little subtle things. And children are not easy. So, they don't like to move from mac and cheese and pizza and chicken fingers. And so helping them in little ways, and then pretty soon they do actually appreciate the changes that we make in them. I'm finally seeing that with my almost 17-year-old. For a long time, he was like, yeah, Mom, I don't want healthy food. And then just little by little, now he's recognizing what healthy food can do for him. And so let's see. Here's another one. Drop the last year into silent limbo of the past. Let it go, for it was imperfect, and thank God that it can go. So that's one that I don't know. I kind of like the past. I like to reflect on the past and to improve on the past. So always having a goal to be better this year than you were last year, and then you were 5 years ago, and that you were 10 years ago. So always enjoying that, and remember that it would not be the new year if you didn't have a few regrets, and just embracing those few things and moving forward. And at the end of the day, it's all about what's on the shelf at the end of the year. Let's see. So I'm just reading through a bunch of quotes. Let's see. A new year brings not only happiness, it makes us happy and hopeful, and that our dreams are a new beginning of life. And so a new year is very special to everyone, which I agree with. We all, for many, many years, we've been taught to make New Year's resolutions. I prefer to do some goal setting and take a look at my goals from last year and expand on them for the new year. So let's see. Another fresh new year is here, another year to live, to banish worry, doubt, and fear, to love and laugh and give. And that's a great quote, because learning to laugh at yourself is one of the most important ways that we can actually let go. When we can laugh at ourselves, so like I always say, I've been 65 pounds overweight 3 times in my life. So, 2 of them were pregnancies, but they were pregnancies that I didn't need to gain 65 pounds. And so learning from those past things, being able to laugh at yourself and say, OMG, why did I do that? It doesn't matter why I did it. It's over. I've moved on. I've little by little every year created new habits that are making me better and better and better. And, sharing those things with other people. Let's see here what I've got here. These are pessimist quotes. We don't want any pessimist quotes. Let's see. The bad news is time flies. The good news is you're the pilot. So yes, we are the pilot of our own world. We are the only person that can make it wonderful or make it negative. And there are outside forces that come into play, but how we handle all of that is how we are able to move forward in life. And so if we allow the forces to get us, then we cave in, we eat all the junk we know we don't like and doesn't even service us and makes us angry with ourselves and upset with ourselves, and that whole self-sabotage process. And then we binge some more because we're mad at ourselves and, well, I did this, so I may as well do that. So when we allow the outside forces to affect how we control ourselves, then that's where that whole cycle comes in. So what we really want to do is remember that we are the pilot. So no matter what's coming our way, no matter if there's grief involved or serious emotions or money matters or stress at work or family that has problems, it's how we control what our world is that makes us better at responding to all of the stress and all of the stressors that are going to be coming our way this year, because they're going to come. That's a fact. But how we handle them and how we learn to traverse all of that stuff is what makes us more successful, and keeping in control of what you put in your mouth and how you talk to yourself and how you treat yourself is the key. So being the pilot of your own world is super, super important. And then again, that old saying, a year from now, you will wish you started today. So don't let that, whatever happened in the past, don't let that affect the new year. Make this your year. It's never too late to be what you might have been. Although no one can go back and make a brand new start, anyone can start from now and make a brand new ending. Those are all some of my favorite sayings. Let's see, whether we want them or not, the new year will bring new challenges. whether we seize them or not, the new year will bring new opportunities. So that's the one I'm going to end on today because I love that. So again, whether we want them or not, the new year is going to bring us some challenges. And whether we actually seize them or not, the new year is going to bring us new opportunities. So think about, having that open-mindedness to move through the challenges gracefully, not allow the challenges to affect how we treat ourselves, how we respond, and whether that's emotional responses or with self-sabotaging responses like eating things we know are not on plan, or just going off plan, or having a drink because we just can't handle the end of the day, or whatever it is. So knowing that those challenges are going to come up, having a strategy and a plan for them, and then being open-minded enough to see the new opportunities, and maybe that is going to a support group where you meet some friends where you can actually start surrounding yourselves with people that will uplift you. Maybe that's going to a yoga class and creating a new community where you feel nurtured and nourished. And just being open-minded to changing old habits, creating new lifestyle habits that are going to make you better and fulfill the things that you want in your life. And the only way we're going to do that is by actually changing out the old for the new, figuring out what things are not servicing us any longer, removing them, and creating something new that fills their place. And so, if food's getting in the way, then exchanging that moment where you sit on the couch and binge eat or overeat or eat crappy food to taking a walk, having an accountability partner that you call on the telephone and say, I'm feeling this right now, help me through it. So those are, just a few ideas for changing the old and bringing in the new. I hope you guys have some great plans for tonight. One of the things that we do have coming up, hi Donna, how are you? Happy New Year to you also. But I wanted to share one of the things that we do have coming up is our Refresh Retreat, and that's going to be in San Jose, California. We have room for about 50 people to come and join myself, and Dee from Dee's Recipes is coming, and Sarah Mulera. Sarah's amazing too. All of us have, we consider ourselves super winners because we've all overcome some substantial old habits. We've all lost a bunch of weight, and we have been in maintenance for a while now. And for me, it's about 15 years I've been in maintenance, but that does not mean it's not a struggle every single day. So, just knowing that you're not alone, surrounding yourselves with other people, immersing yourselves in how to create new habits. Come out and come to our Refresh Retreat. It's going to be over the President's Day weekend, February 16 and 17. And if you cannot make it in person, we are going to have a virtual option where you can attend classes either in the live segment or also in a pre-recorded segment. So there will be different registration options available. And we want to share how to become better, how to become more healthy, how to create more self-care and treat ourselves better, how to really understand what works for us and what can work for us, and how to have a new lifestyle, and how to cook. And we're going to do cooking classes and grocery tours and just really learning how to change our lives. So I hope you guys will come and join us. We're excited to do this first event. And so looking forward to being with all of you in the new year and inspiring you and just creating more good stuff. So do me a favor and push the share button. Share this out to all of your friends that need a boost, need some motivation, need to rethink how they respond in the new year and create good habits. All right, you guys, have a super, super New Year's Eve. I'm going to be here in Las Vegas enjoying some fun with some friends and getting to see some great music. And in maintenance, the way that I handle that, and if you aren't on Dee's recipes, be sure you jump over there. I've got a few links to put in so I can share those with you. So I will share the Dee's recipes and the low carb cooking show. Great ways to start the new year. But one of the things we were talking about is what are you going to be doing? And so I'm in maintenance. So what I have been doing is making sure I kept my diet super, super clean through the holidays. I like to have a couple of glasses of champagne to celebrate. So I get to do that in phase 4. If you're in phases 1, 2, or 3, we're not drinking, but that's okay. Lots of good options. But anyway, I won't be eating a bunch of carbs. I won't be eating a bunch of sugar or any at all. It'll just be a fun time with some great music and great friends. And I hope that you guys have something super planned. And if you need to just have a quiet evening, have that quiet evening. All right, have a super, super, super night and end to the new year.